And this was like when in your 60s. How old are you now, Lisa?
I'm 74.
You're 74. and you made some pretty tough decisions as well when you were in your 60s about sort of the physical part of your life. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I was in pretty good physical shape, but I was overweight. And at one of his seminars, we had to figure out something to change, and I said, I'm going to do what's necessary to be in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, and what happened then?
You know, it's like for me, when I make that decision, it's already done.
So when you became in very good shape, you had some goals related to that. What were those goals?
Yes, it was to win some competitions. There is something called masters competitions in all kinds of sport for the elderly, but it's actually, the cutoff is 27 years. So I started competing.
Yeah, in what
rowing.
Sport? In rowing.
And for me, I have defined myself as not very trainable in those kind of exercises.
So that was a limiting belief for you?
That was a limiting belief.
Yeah.
And you know, when I discovered my limiting belief, I challenged them.
Okay.
Because I'm going to figure out a way of doing it.
Have you won any medals?
Yes. I win medals every year.
Okay.
And of course you can say...
At what level?
Yeah, it is in my age group.
A Norwegian or European?
No, that's an international. It's international regattas, and it's one of the biggest sport events in the world. I mean,
so
it's
are you a
3,000
world champion?
people.
Are you a world champion?
You could say, for the elderly.
For the elderly. Well, congratulations. You're
Yeah.
a fantastic role model. I know that you have some special things have been going on in your life as well this past year.
Yes.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Last year, when I came back from the regatta that was arranged in one of the Baltic countries, I got a report back that I had malignancies in the lymph node, and that was, of course, I knew as a veterinarian that was very serious. That was a tumor that had metastasized.
Okay, so you had cancer.
I had cancer.
Yeah.
And in my abdomen, and that was a shock initially.
Yeah.
But then, luckily, I have heard one of the trainers, Tony Robbins' trainers, say that he advised people to say, "Give me the diagnosis, not the verdict." So I after a couple of 3 days, I started to turn it around. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the rowing, that I've done with other things. It's just to get going.
Yeah, right.
And of course, being known through the CD, I had access to quite a lot of different people.
Yeah, resourceful people.
Resourceful people. I got some CDs from you that really helped me through my amazing recovery, post-operative recovery. They couldn't believe it. I mean, I was 73 years old, and I was up and waltzing around after.
Which CDs were they particularly? Can you remember?
The first one I had at the hospital was really the garden.
Yeah, the healing garden.
The healing garden. That was really very, very important. And later on, I got the other CDs from you.
Yeah. And you mentioned something about actually being out here and I and the contact with nature. What was that all about?
Yeah, that was one of your CDs that mentioned that goes specifically into nature. You know, the healing powers of nature. I can still remember the tree, and that also brought back to me I used to do that with trees before when I was a child, and that was, I had friends all over. I had somebody to talk to. I talked to the trees. And we have this cabin, and you know, when I've heard that, I decided in my treatment period that could have been rather tough. We went up here and walked in the snow, looked at the trees, and the idea came to me through that CD. And we have decided now to live in the cabin in the summer and just go into the city when it's necessary for a day or two, and then this is our permanent camp. Because here, take a look at all the green colors, all the different kinds of trees.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And that tree.
The conversation that we had, it must have been almost a year ago now, when you first realised that you had a diagnosis, or maybe before your diagnosis came, and it was something about you were used to having all the answers and knowing the rules.
And for one thing, I don't know the rules of being seriously ill. I don't know how that's done. And one other thing, really, that maybe could be brought back to the feminine, masculine thing, was that I became aware that it was okay to ask for help. And that was such a gift, really. And also all the help I got.
And you are one of the few people that I know that you've really taken responsibility for your process in a very beautiful and a very humble and a grateful way as well. So, and I know that you are all the time thinking about what you can do to promote your own healing process and to promote your own health process.
And that is really the most important thing for humans to know.
Helping themselves.
Helping themselves with all kinds of issues.
And taking responsibility.
Taking responsibility and ask for help.